We have gone 2/3 of the American history. Here I will tell you about the end, so as not to give up stories about world history. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so that we have more motivation. And now, we'll not let you wait long. Let's start. Chapter 5, Fire and Steel, from 1877 to 1917. The Civil War had ended, but the nation was still trembling, scarred, bloodied, and brimming with ambition. The ashes of Reconstruction settled as railroads pierced the vast plains, and steel titans rose above cities once tamed by horse and lantern. America was transforming, not slowly, but at a gallop. By 1900, it wasn't just a country, it was a machine, roaring with the rhythm of factories, smokestacks, and the pounding of iron. Carnegie, Rockefeller, Morgan, names that struck awe and fear. Titans who built empires on steel, oil, and finance, carving fortunes in the flesh of a new industrial order. Immigrants flooded through Ellis Island with nothing but dreams and calloused hands, fueling the fire of labor and hope. Cities sprawled skyward. Electricity lit the night. The frontier was closed, but America was far from finished. Then came Cuba, 1898. The USS Maine exploded in Havana Harbor. Whether sabotage or accident, it didn't matter. The cry went up, "Remember the Maine." Newspapers fanned flames of war, and soon American troops stormed into the Spanish Empire's crumbling grip. In just a few months, the United States seized Cuba, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. But the victory wasn't clean. In the Philippines, American soldiers fought a brutal insurgency against Filipino rebels who had hoped for freedom, not a new master. The contradiction was clear: liberty at home, conquest abroad. And yet, the gears kept turning. America had tasted power, and it wanted more. Chapter 6, The Rise of the Superpower, 191719. The call came in 1917. Europe was bleeding to death in the trenches of the First World War. Woodrow Wilson, reluctant but resolute, declared that America would make the world safe for democracy. Doughboys crossed the Atlantic, turning the tide of war with fresh boots and boundless supplies. When the guns fell silent in 1918, the world had changed, and so had America. The Roaring Twenties brought jazz, flappers, bootleggers, and Wall Street boom, but it was all a mirage. In 1929, the market crashed, plunging millions into despair. Bread lines stretched for blocks. Banks vanished. Hope grew scarce. Then came Franklin D. Roosevelt with a promise. A New Deal for the forgotten man. Slowly, painfully, the nation clawed its way back. Then, Pearl Harbor. December 7th, 1941, a date which would live in infamy. Japan's surprise attack jolted America into World War II. Factories roared back to life. Women welded steel while men fought across Europe and the Pacific. D-Day. What followed wasn't peace, it was tension. The Cold War gripped the world in ice and fire. Berlin divided, Korea frozen, Vietnam bleeding, proxy wars, arms races, and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation. In 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis brought the world within a hair's breadth of destruction. One wrong move and everything could have ended in a flash of light. But it wasn't all fear. The Civil Rights Movement marched forward. Martin Luther King Jr. dreamed on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. The Apollo astronauts soared beyond Earth, planting a flag on the moon. America had flaws, deep, painful ones, but it also had vision. Struggles in Selma, riots in Watts, protests against the Vietnam War. The soul of the nation was on trial. And yet, when the Berlin Wall fell in 1989 and the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, America stood alone atop the world. A superpower, flawed, triumphant, unchallenged. Chapter 7, The Age of Shadows and Storms, 1991, present. Victory brought questions. In the post-Cold War world, what would America be? The 1990s were a strange dance. Booming economy, Silicon Valley's rise, and global peacekeeping. But behind the optimism lurked uncertainty. The enemy was gone. The mission was unclear. Then came a clear, terrible answer. September 11th, 2001. Ha! The Twin Towers fell. Smoke blanketed Manhattan. The Pentagon burned. Nearly 3,000 lives lost in a morning that felt like the end of innocence. In the chaos and grief, President George W. Bush declared a global war on terror. Troops surged into Afghanistan, then Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction were never found, but the war left deep scars, both abroad and at home. The years wore on. Patriotism curdled into protest. America grew weary. The 2008 financial crisis hit like a tsunami, wiping out jobs, homes, and savings. Wall Street was bailed out. Main Street bore the cost. In the ruins, new voices rose. Occupy Wall Street, the Tea Party, and a country deeply divided. And yet, from the fire came new faces. In 2008, Barack Obama became the first black president. A moment that stirred the world and reignited old debates about race, identity, and justice in America. Technology changed everything. Social media, smartphones, surveillance, the Arab Spring, Russian interference, fake news. Truth itself became a battlefield. In the 2020s, the COVID-19 pandemic struck, laying bare inequalities and testing the nation's resolve. Political tensions boiled over, riots, conspiracies, insurrections. The world watched America struggle with its own promise. Meanwhile, China surged forward, a rival not with bombs but with data, dollars, and diplomacy. Climate change loomed, reshaping coastlines and economies. Artificial intelligence, cyber warfare, and space exploration redefined what power looked like. And through it all, America kept moving, sometimes backward, sometimes sideways, but always forward. Loud, divided, restless. Epilogue. America is not just a nation, it's an idea. Fragile, fiery, unfinished, it has conquered, liberated, erred, and evolved. Its history is a story of contradiction, freedom and slavery, justice and injustice, hope and heartbreak. It is not perfect, but it is powerful, and its story is far from over. From fire and steel to shadow and storm, the eagle still flies. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the early days of American history. The colonial era wasn't just a chapter in a textbook. It was a time of courage, struggle, and transformation. It laid the foundation for what would become a bold experiment in self-government and liberty. Understanding where we come from helps us better understand who we are today and where we're headed tomorrow. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more content like it, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It may seem like a small thing, but it really helps us grow and reach more people who care about history as much as you do. And if you know someone who would appreciate this story, share it with them too. We're just getting started. America's past is full of incredible moments, complex characters, and powerful lessons. Let us know in the comments what part of history you'd like us to cover next. Thanks again for watching. Stay curious, stay informed, and as always, keep exploring the story of America, one chapter at a time.